Alright, now we will go through the on-site door management or check-in system. So Sarcon's door management system consists of a badge design module and the scanning system. Now, one of the places where we stand out is that the system also works offline and in choppy networks, so you don't really have to spend additionally to get your event when you network and wired, right? So I think we'll get right to it. Now, this particular system can be used either with custom hardware, that's custom printers for printing badges if you're running a large event, or it can also be used with, say, A4 size printers if you're running a smaller event and you don't want to spend on custom hardware. You'll be able to track food consumption, that's basically your plate consumption, attendance at specific sessions, workshops, and also your entry and exit stats for your attendees. The same system can also be extended to exhibitors for lead capture at an additional cost. So basically, whenever somebody goes to a particular exhibitor booth, they can scan the attendee's badge using web app, and they'll get the data post the event, right? So we'll get right to it in terms of how the system looks like. So this is your registration system, where you also have your door management module integrated, right? So one part is you go to customize, you have badge design. This is where you customize your badge, right? So first is you select the dimensions, either a standard dimension or any custom dimension that you want to put in. You can select different sections that are there. So for example, over here you can select whether it's the custom fields that you're collecting for a particular session or for a particular event, or the QR code. So all this that you see on the right hand side, that can be played around with. And then you have your header and footer. So in this particular case, we selected a header image which was put here. Same thing can be done for the footer also, and the header and footer sizing can also be controlled, right? And then you have padding that you can take care of, right? So this is basically the high level of it, right? So it's a pretty functional badge management system, which, as you can see over here, is linked to your registration system. So the name or any of the other fields will automatically get pulled in for a particular user, right? Now, next, what you do is, say you click on check-in, right? So let's just open this up. Right, so this would load, and then as you can see, this is the list of people at the event, right? So I can either search by name, or maybe the ID of the person, or there are a bunch of this is the reference ID, right? So for example, I search for John, so I find him. So this particular check-in system can either be used from a computer or from a phone, right? So I'm going to show you how the scanning works from a phone, but if you have a computer, you can just search for the name. If you click over here, the check-in happens, right? So the count is the number of times a scan has happened. Now the scan can happen either at the entrance, or it can happen at a food counter or at a workshop, and then you can actually see the scan history that's going to show you at what times the scan has happened and by who, right? Now so that's what you have over here. And so what I'm going to show you next is how the QR code based scanning works using a phone. But before that, you have the print command over here that can be used to print the badge that was just shown a while back, right? So on the next section, we'll just show how the scanning works. Alright, so in this part, we're going to show how the scanning system works as part of the door management module. So as you can see, I have loaded up the scanning module on my phone. So you would have seen in the previous part where the same page was opened on a computer screen, but here it's on a mobile, right? So it's a lot clearer now, where you can see the scan details, right? now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the QR code button. That's going to open up the scanner. So I'm clicking this over here. And now what we're going to do is we have a sample badge with us. Okay, I'm going to scan the badge, and as you can see, the scan has worked, right? So you can see the details of the person that's been scanned, right? So I can either click another scan, or I can see the list of people. So I clicked cancel over there, and now I can see the list of people who are registered, right? So again, I don't really need to scan. I can just search for the person's name or the reference number, and I can just say, I'm going to click on the first item on top that says 5, and now it says 6, right? So, and the same way I can check the check-in history also. So there's a button that might be clear now, which basically is going to show you the scan history. Now what you can do, so over here, this particular module is web-based, so you don't really need to download a separate app for it. And also we have a role management system wherein you can give access to just this particular page to your on-site support staff, and they won't have access to the other pages or the other sections of this system. So they just have to go to this particular page, and you're going to get all the stats, right? So it's a very simple system, and like I mentioned before, it also works offline. So if you have a choppy internet connection at your venue, you'll still be able to scan, and the system would work pretty well.